You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther Football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Carolina Forest Panther Football right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And it's homecoming here at the Black Hole as the Panthers get set to take on the North Myrtle Beach Chiefs here tonight in the final non-region game of the season before a bye week next week and then the beginning of region play in 2 weeks when the Panthers take on Conway in the rivalry game. My name is Brandon Biskoping. I will be bringing you all the action, and joining me as usual is Preston Payne. And before we get into this game, something we forgot to mention in all the chaos and craziness of last week, the big win, 17-14 over Stratford. It was Coach Mark Morris's 150th win in his coaching career. So congratulations to Coach Morris. And hopefully now, because we talked about this a little bit in the previous games, especially when at Oceanside. Last year, when he was going for number 50 as head coach of the Panthers, he had some issues. He lost a couple of games before he got it finally, and then he started to right the ship a little bit. Hopefully that can happen now with the Panthers this year.
And I think and you never want to assume he was nervous or whatever the case may be, but there's obviously some stress put on you to try to win that big milestone game. Yeah. And you just never want to assume that he was nervous to call the wrong play or whatever, but we can infer that he kind of was. Yeah. And that is a little, it puts stress on you to try to get that milestone and finally get out of the way. And after I think he gets out of his own head, he starts to right the ship.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a game that will hopefully, I mean, we said that last week that we thought the game against Stratford would be a pretty easy win, which the Panthers did win, but it was a lot closer than we thought. 17-14, capped off by a game-winning touchdown stretch by Nathan Schuessler with less than 30 seconds left to go in the game. But even with less than 30 seconds left to go, Stratford still drove down the field, and the Panthers had to block a field goal in order to maintain that lead and not have the game go into overtime.
Now, the 30-yard line is where they were kicking that field goal.
Yeah, it was a 39-yard field goal attempt.
So they got to the 29. So it's like one of those things where, yes, they allowed the chance for a field goal, but even if it's not blocked, the chance of that kick going through is
very unlikely.
Slim to none.
Yes.
So give the defense some credit for knowing the situation.
Oh, yes.
So I like the fact that they did show up at the very end there just because it shows that they have some semblance of a defense. But at the same time, what I'm more worried about for that Stratford game is the offense.
Yes.
You should not be only putting up 17 to a Stratford team.
And more often than not, either having to punt it away or turning the ball over, or, well, actually more often than not, getting down the field but having to settle for either a made or sometimes even missed field goal attempt.
And you never want to settle for field goals, but at that point when you're 4th and 10 from your own 15, you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
You don't want to go for it in that spot and get nothing.
Yeah.
And heck, a field goal was the difference in between just taking the points was the difference. And I said that on the broadcast. It was, once you get in the red zone so many times, if you're not scoring, you have to just take the points.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you just let it happen. You concede that you only got 3, but you still get points on the drive. And for Stratford, that's all we needed. But you worry going into the future that we're going to get into the habit of not being able to close out drives with touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that going into region play, the Panthers are really going to need to be wary of. But like I mentioned, in this final non-region game of the season, This is a game that the Panthers, again, like we talked about with Stratford, easier said than done, but this is definitely a winnable game for the Panthers. Panthers come into this game with a 2-3 record after the win last week. North Myrtle Beach comes into this with a 1-3 record, and their only win was a 42-26 win over West Brunswick, who the Panthers beat 57-26. So same score against, but the Panthers were able to score a lot more points than the Chiefs were. Now, whether that sort of transitive property works is up for debate. People always talk about that, but an interesting stat nonetheless.
So that was interesting. So I went to a college visit for just academics, just to go to. I went to Newberry College. It's a D2 school up in Greenville. They had on a wall. They had Newberry national champions, and it was a transitive property as to how you get from Newberry beating somebody to Georgia losing. And they beat
that's
them.
funny.
So it's fun to think about. But
yeah.
It also, until you get head to head on the field, it doesn't
really matter.
You can say that all you want, but it's also one of those things where you just never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless of course like Sumter beating Somerville last week.
Yes.
That 16 shutting out Somerville when we gave up 31
is
a transitive
deal.
property you can use.
Yes. But this, like I mentioned, this is definitely a game that the Panthers should be able to win. But the big question is going to be.
I think we need to stop saying that.
Yes,
I think we need to stop saying that.
I know. I'm jinxing myself. I gotta knock on some wood. But still, and we talked about this a little bit off the air. One of the big things going into this game, as it was last week, and this is going to be another test to see, and they may be missing him for the entire season with what we found out now. Khalil Johnson is out for this game, as is Anthony Aponte again. But Khalil, with how he was struggling moving the ball, who knows what that, is going to be.
I think with how Khalil Johnson was running the football, running right up the middle, not just not how he's supposed to be used. It should be one of those things where he was getting the ball to the outside and he just was not getting the ball to the outside. So when that happens, you can't blame it all on the running back. If you don't have the space, and the offensive line has not blocked very well at all this year.
Well,
so when you don't use the running back in the situation that you're supposed to use him, there can only mean one thing, and that is that coaching does not scheme for his players' strengths. The coaching is trying to mold players into what he wants, and it's not what the player is good at.
Which is something we've talked about all season long with Scott Saylor, although it's still baffling to me that Scott Saylor leads the region, or leads the area, and potentially the region. I don't know about Sumter's quarterback, but leads the area in passing yards, and as he has now eclipsed 1,000 passing yards.
And again, we talked about it before we went on air. You would think that we throw the ball so much.
Yeah.
But his yards per attempt is ridiculous. Only because the only time they throw the ball is when they're in 3rd and 20, whatever. Like third and here to California, basically.
Well, either that, or it's a deep pass to Nathan Schuessler that he catches and then takes to the house, or takes, another 20, 30 yards.
Right.
So, but, yeah, so Khalil Johnson out, Anthony Aponte out again. So that's going to hurt the offense.
A note for Anthony Aponte, though, he was practicing this week. He was in full pads. He should be back when we come out of the bye week, going into region play. But for Khalil Johnson, you just hate to see it. He's a junior this year, so he does have another year here at Carolina Forest, but you hate to see it for a guy who absolutely loves the game of football. We think we're just speculating. He could come back if we make a playoff run, which who knows.
Yeah.
But just kind of speculation here. We think he is done for the year. Anthony Aponte
more than likely
should be back by the start of region play. No sustained injuries like we mentioned last week. He was in a car crash. He is okay. So we get those players back. or we get Anthony Ponte back coming into region play, and if anything happens with Anthony Ponte coming back, it stretches the field so much more, because Nathan. Defenses are going to start looking at Nathan as our wide receiver 1, and they're going to start covering over the top. Anthony Ponte is not a deep route runner. He's just underneath getting those catches where if they stretch the field, Anthony Ponte can get underneath.
Exactly. So we will step aside for a second for the national anthem and then come back with some final thoughts and kickoff here at homecoming at Panther Stadium on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are just a few minutes away from kickoff here at Panther Stadium on homecoming between the Panthers and the North Myrtle Beach Chiefs. And, go ahead.
So one thing that I wanted to mention before we go into this game and the X factors, looking back at the entire season, the first half of the season so far, we were looking at it. Scotty leads our team in rushing by 100 yards. 100 and some change, actually. 104 to be exact. Or 114, excuse me. We don't do math here at the Carolina Forest Football Network. But when your quarterback is leading, when your yardage for the entire season and has more attempts than your second leading rusher, who's the running back one until last week when he got hurt, Khalil Johnson. When that is the case, you don't – or Bryson Johnson, excuse me, not Khalil. Bryson Johnson's second leading rusher.
Yeah.
But when that is the case, that means that one of two things is happening. Either your run game with your running back is bad and slow and your offensive line can't get enough push, or your offensive line breaks down so quick in the passing game that Scotty has no choice other than to run. And I think it's a little bit of both.
It is a little bit of both. And one thing I meant to mention earlier when we were talking about Khalil Johnson and his injury and his struggles prior to the injury, and you know this because you're an athlete, maybe that injury was under the surface and he wasn't at 100%, and that's what caused some of his issues.
And I think it could be that, but I also think Khalil Johnson is a smart football player.
Yeah.
He knows what he can be long term. He knows what is at stake if he does tank his stock, if you will.
Yeah.
I think he would be smart enough to say, hey, as much of a competitor as I am, this shoulder is not feeling well. We do a lot in the option game. It's not going to be conducive for that. And I think maybe I'm giving him too much credit as a smart player, as a smart football player. But I think knowing how where he can be, and he took a visit to Coastal a couple weeks ago. Knowing where he could be, I think he is smart enough to not play like Baker Mayfield's situation. That's why we have this perception that Baker Mayfield is horrible because he played on a bum shoulder the entire year. You don't want to have that happen, especially trying to go into college.
Yeah, especially trying to get those stats and that reputation of being a good running back and everything. So, bands on the field. Coin toss is occurring on the field right now. Wait to see what the results are there. Looks like North Myrtle Beach won the toss. So, actually, I think Carolina Forest won the toss. Yes, they did, and they deferred to the second half. My favorite, not so much yours. You don't like the deferral, but I enjoy getting the ball in the second half.
I think if you are a big underdog going into a game, say, actually, I want to say it happened in college. It was a college game. This is one of the non-specific things that I just threw out there. But it was a college game, and it was a big underdog on the road, and they received the kick, and to start the first half. Yeah. And they came out and they scored and they set a tone. They set a precedent. They ended up losing the game. I do remember that. They ended up losing the game. But it wasn't because of the other team doubling up at half. It was just the other team was better. Yeah. But when you go out and set the tone, and especially if you're an underdog going in on the road, you want to set the tone early. Yeah. You want to be able to quiet the crowd and just keep them away. But when you don't, when you're favored to win, as we are in this game, and you're at home, you let your defense do kind of talking, and you let the crowd get into it a little bit.
Especially a night like tonight where it's homecoming and all of that. Yeah. I can understand that. As the Panthers come onto the field through the big helmet tunnel that they've got set up along the sideline. That's a little different tonight.
And I do go to Carolina Forest. We had our pep rally stuff today. Got me quite hyped for the
pep rallies were always fun when I was in high school.
Always great. But I wanted to say this before we actually started to get this game kicked off. The buzz around campus, it was kind of a free day around campus. Just you go to your classes, but your classes aren't really doing much because they took an hour for the pep rally.
Because basically half the day is spent at the pep rally.
And so there's just a buzz around campus that hey, there's a game tonight, and a lot of people are going to be there. And you could tell the football players were ready. You could tell everybody was ready. And I'm ready for kickoff here. I'm excited.
Yeah, as the Chiefs come onto the field, Panthers come onto the field to kick it off, and we are almost set for a kickoff here at Panther Stadium. And, that buzz, if the Panthers can get a win tonight, that buzz heading into region play, that could really propel them forward as the kick is up, and we are underway. It is fair caught at a little in front of the 30-yard line. And that's where the Chiefs will start with the ball.
Ball fielded by number 10, Chase Sturgeon.
Chase Sturgeon
puts the ball on the 29-yard line.
Takes the fair catch, and they will mark him at the 27-yard line. So that is where the Chiefs will start with the ball. Chiefs offensive line, Tyler During, Jakari Witherspoon, Jacob Brown, Jamari Brooks, and Sawyer Averett. Landon Cloninger, Anderson White, and Caden Gord, the wide receivers. Daquan Durham, the running back. Brown Reeves, the tight end. And Chance Hall doing the quarterbacking as they hand it off to Durham, and he gets about 9. Brings it out to the 35-yard line, and that'll make it a 2nd and 1.
Just a simple read option there. Yeah. And I don't like how our defense is already getting fooled on read option with no.
And that's what the Chiefs use a lot is the read option.
And if they're going to respect the quarterback that much, you have to be able to stay on the running back as well.
Shotgun pistol set. Hall takes a snap, hands it off. And getting the first down and more is Abraham White.
Number 32.
And he gets taken down at the 39-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Chiefs first down.
And
First and 10 for the
2
Chiefs.
plays and a first down on 2 running
Yeah.
plays right up the middle is not how you want to start a game.
No, not at
And
all.
When it looks easy for
Yeah.
North Myrtle Beach right now, and you never want to make it easy for someone to just run the ball all over you, and that's what it's looking like right now.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Halfback on the far side of Hall. Fake handoff. Chance Hall will keep it himself. Bounces around the corner and steps out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 5 for him. And he'll set up 2nd and 5. Actually, they'll mark him at the 43-yard line. So it'll be a 4-yard gain in 2nd and 6.
And again, just another play off of the read option, speed option that they're running right now, triple option, if you will.
Yeah, they're running a lot of triple option out of that shotgun pistol set that they like to use a lot. They'll go regular shotgun this time. 2 wide plus the H-back on the near side. Hall takes a snap, hands it off, breaking through the line and getting taken down at the 47-yard line is Daquan Durham.
And the big thing I want to look for today in this game is can we keep them behind the chains?
Yeah.
Less than 3 yards of play on a down will make North Myrtle Beach throw the ball, and they haven't done it yet. So very clearly that is not the strength of their team.
No, not at all.
And they should be able to get out on 3rd down if they can force them to pass on it.
3rd and 2 from the 47. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off again. This time the Panthers crush them in the backfield.
Number 32.
And now you set them up for 4th and about 3.5, 4. And now North Myrtle Beach's offense is so one-dimensional. You know what they're going to do if they do go for it.
They're going to punt
They're going to
it,
punt.
yeah.
And
So
this
that
is
was a
something-
good stop by the Panthers on that 3rd and short.
And this is something you would never see from Carolina Force because they have the ability to throw the ball. This is what I'm talking about. If you can get
Yeah.
behind the downs, there's no way you would give up a point.
Yeah, this is the Chiefs' offense this season as the punt is a high one. Fair catch will be made at the 16-yard line. Nathan Schussler with the fair catch.
Just to comment on the game itself, the black uniforms Carolina Force is rocking today look very clean.
Oh,
very,
yeah.
Very sharp, very nice, especially for the theme tonight, blackout here in the black hole. And now the offense now has to capitalize on the defensive stop.
And the numbers are accentuated enough that I can actually read them. Shotgun set for Sailor, 2 wide on the near side. He'll take the snap, hands it off, and getting crushed at the line is Zion Gilbert.
And a gain of half a yard on a run.
Yep.
How many times have I said that this year? I feel
Yeah.
like a broken record every game.
Yeah, I know.
I feel
I know.
like
It's going to be the same formula as last week. Run, 3rd and long, pass, first down. I'm calling it right now.
I feel like you could just play a tape of me saying run right up the middle, and it would be perfect.
Shotgun set, bunch, 2 wide on the near side. They'll run the jet sweep, hands it off to Owen Hall. He'll keep on his feet and get taken down at the 22-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 4. Actually, 3rd and 5 from the 27-yard line.
Okay, so that was a
Or, excuse me, 17-yard.
that was a 4-yard gain, right?
Yep.
How long is a 4-yard gain going to be our longest run of the game from a non-quarterback? We need to keep track of
Yes.
this. I'm gonna keep track
Shotgun
of
set. Well, we get stats today. 3 wide on the far side, and a flag is thrown. I'm assuming it's going to be false start, but we'll see.
Offside on North Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
They just
There might be a flag on the play.
offside North Myrtle Beach, and that's going to give them a free first down.
So the Panthers get a first down. That'll be the first Tony McAfee State Farm first down of the day.
So I don't know if that's a lined up in the neutral zone.
I
or
think it was.
I think that
Yeah.
would be what it was, because it didn't look.
Because
Like
it didn't look like the Panthers' offense moved at all. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side for the Panthers. Sailor, high snap, hands it off. Gilbert will try to break through the line and will be held up at the 30-yard line.
Number
So that'll be a gain of 3.
All right, 3-yard run, not a 4-yard
quite.
run. So even with a 3-yard gain, that is a longer run than 90% of the runs we saw last week against Stratford, and that's not good for your running game at all.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Sailor, high snap, looking for a screen pass. Now looks up the middle and incomplete. Trying to get it. I believe he was trying to target Alec Youngblood on that one.
Anthony Aponte is playing. That's number 10.
Oh, yeah,
number 10.
you're right. Okay, so Aponte is back.
Okay, so I lied to you guys. I brought wrong information. But Anthony Aponte and Alec Youngblood were both running up the seam, and I think he chose the wrong one. I think if he goes to Anthony there, he gets a good pass.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Play action pass looking near side and is completed. Nathan Schuessler going down the sideline, and he will get tripped up at around the 30-yard line. They will mark him down at the 30-yard line. That's enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, and that will put the Panthers in Chiefs territory.
And that was just a 7-yard hitch route that Nate took, almost like
we talked about earlier. And just passes, short passes that Nate Schuessler makes into big gains.
Made one guy miss and was able to scamper up the field.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. High snap, hands it off to Gilbert. Gilbert gets held up just past the line of scrimmage. He'll get a gain of 1.
And big play, and then
run back to the run game.
So this is what I don't understand. I get you don't want to be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But if your run game is not working whatsoever, why go to it? Why?
I guess to make sure that the defense doesn't just play the pass. Shotgun set, bunch 2 on the far side. Fake hand. Oh, no. They will hand it off to Gilbert. And Gilbert will get taken down at the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
A gain of 4.
Yep.
So if we can keep doing this, gain of 3, gain of 4, gain of 5, and then we just keep going up.
Yep.
I think that would be a very beautiful thing. And I think that you are right in some regard. You don't want to be one-dimensional, but I also think you just play to your strengths as the team.
Shotgun set, 2 bunched up on the near side. They'll hand it off to Gilbert again, and this time he gets stuffed in the backfield for a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th and 5. Oh, no, they'll actually say he lost 2 yards, so it'll be a 4th and 6 now for the Panthers.
3rd and 5 from when you have one of the best passing offenses in the county, and you run the ball right up the middle on an outside zone. The play calling is a little shaky already in this game.
And they're going to go for it here.
And I'm not surprised by this play call. You got to give Scotty a little bit of confidence back after running it on 3rd and 5 in your own end, or in the offensive end.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. 1-step drop for Sailor. Now he goes up in the pocket. The pocket opened wide. The line it was like splitting the Red Sea, and the line opened up, and there was no one open anyway, so he just took it himself. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll hand it off again. Gilbert gets held up. Will get a couple, and he gets taken down at the 12-yard line.
And like you mentioned, the defense on Scotty's run just kind of – and that's what happens when I talk about gaps on the defensive line, the A, B, and C gap. They did not play disciplined and did not stay in their gaps, and that's what allowed the defensive line to part like the Red Sea.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Sailor, high snap, looking short, and he gets Schuessler. He's got the first down and more, and the touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown reception for Nathan Schuessler, and the Panthers take an early lead.
And we talked about the slants with Anthony Aponte and Owen Hall, and especially in the red zone when everyone is clutched together and you can do kind of a pick play.
Yeah.
That one was just Nathan beat his man off of the line of scrimmage and was able to get a wide open catch and touchdown.
Left to go in the first quarter. The Panthers get on the board first, and the extra point is up and good. And the Panthers have a 7-0 lead with 4:28 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers get on the board first with 4.5 left to go in the first quarter. 7-0. Panthers lead it. Chase Sturgeon actually gets it, makes a fair catch, and the Chiefs will take over at the 27-yard line.
And if that drive doesn't prove to Coach Mark Morris that the offense should be through the passing game, I don't know what does.
I mean, the stats alone should,
It
but
should, but you also you have the straight, you have just the straight passing offense. Just that's the only way you got yards basically on that drive right there.
with the exception of just some small gains. Pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, hands, fake hand. Oh, no, they do hand it off and gets crushed in the backfield. Daquan Durham gets taken down. Manning hit with the tackle. He's the leading tackler for the Chiefs, and he showed it right there. Good job getting into the backfield quickly and getting Durham for a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13 now for the Chiefs.
And Manning hit coming from that linebacker position to seal the edge, and he made one guy miss and bounced to the outside, but Manning hit was right there to make the hit
Yep.
and hold him to a loss of 3.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hall takes the snap. He'll roll out to his right, throws on the run, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Landon Cloninger, but a little too far. And it'll now be 3rd and 13.
And this is what I'm talking about with if you get them behind the down and distance, 3rd and long, 2nd and long, and you force them to pass the ball, there is absolutely no way this North Myrtle Beach offense should be able to score on you.
And what, the Chiefs this year they're very inexperienced. A lot of them did not play, or at least did not start last year. Only a couple of starters returned from. And in throwing and complete. Oh, intercepted.
Fumble.
Oh, no, it's called a fumble and recovered by the Panthers in the end zone for the touchdown.
And I couldn't see who it was, but there was 2 players for Carolina Forest converging on the quarterback there, and they just forced the ball out on the sack, and they were able to scoop and score.
I thought he was about to throw, so I shifted my focus, and I didn't see it. That's why I thought it was incomplete at first. But the Panthers are able to get the strip sack and recover the fumble for the touchdown, and they extend their lead out to 13-0. Chaddock out there to kick the extra point. The extra point is up and good, and with 3.5 left to go in the first quarter, the Panthers are up 14-0, and that's exactly what you want to do as the defense coming off of the touchdown. Force the turnover, force the strip sack, and get the fumble 6.
Yeah, and that if that doesn't kind of show why we were expected to win in this game,
Yeah.
this is what we should have been seeing from Stratford against Stratford
Yeah.
last week. This is the defense this is the game that we thought we were going to see last week. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of time.
Yes, there is still a lot of time.
But if the game continues to go how it was, we are on pace for a high-scoring game, and the defense
is playing
very
well right now. Well, I mean, like we talked about, what's funny is that the Panthers, well, we want them to be kind of more one-dimensional passing-wise, but North Myrtle Beach is very one-dimensional running-wise, so the defense is able to focus on it entirely.
But it's also one of those things where we can run the football for more than a yard. The North Myrtle Beach offense does not seem like it can pass for very much. And their running game is okay, but again, if you get into second and long, third and long, running the ball is not going to do you any favors.
So the Chiefs field the kickoff and will take over at the 33-yard line. And the Panther defense will look to try to come up big again. Maybe get another, maybe this time they don't throw enough for a pick six, but maybe another fumble six. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off. Oh, no, read option, and Hall is able to, it keeps it himself and gets all the way out to the 46-yard line, and that'll be a Chiefs first down.
And like we said, if you don't pay attention to the quarterback on that read option, he will run all over you. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, if you leave a hole open.
It could be Tom Brady running the read option. If you leave him wide open, he'll take the yards.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Hall takes the snap, looks left, looks right, throws a screen pass that is caught by number 1 Anderson White, but he will not get any yards and actually will lose a yard in the backfield.
And that is why we see the North Myrtle Beach Chiefs they don't throw the football.
Yeah.
Because even when they throw a screen pass, which is a supplement to the run game, it doesn't get any yards because the wide receivers and the blocking isn't set up for it. And go ahead.
It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 45-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hall takes the snap, hands it off, and breaking through the hole and getting up to the 49-yard line is Daquan Durham. And that's one thing that the Panthers need to work on in this drive at least, is in the last drive, the holes were not being opened at all by the offensive line of North Myrtle Beach. But now in those 2 out of the 3 plays were big runs as a result of big gaps being opened by the Chiefs' offense.
And it's not like it's not like any game we've had before. If you get a stop here and limit them to 0 yards here, you get a punt right now from North Myrtle Beach.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side.
The ideologies behind all the previous offenses and this North Myrtle Beach offense are completely different than anything we've seen so far.
And looks like the Chiefs will take a timeout with 1:30 left to go in the first quarter.
So if I could expand a little bit what I was trying to say, against the crazy road stretch we had, South Florence, Oceanside, Academy, and Somerville. Those 3 offenses, even West Brunswick, if they got 3rd and 4, or 4th and 5, 4th and 4, they were going for it. North Myrtle Beach, we've already seen them punt once with a 4th and 4. This is not you have to get them into 4th and 7, 4th and 7 and up range. You just have to get a stop to 4th down and more than 3 yards.
Yeah.
And you can force them to punt. And we think Coach Mark Morris is a little conservative on what he does. North Myrtle Beach seems to even be more restrained in what they do.
Yeah, Greg Hill a lot more restrained in his first year as the Chiefs head coach. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Read option, and Hall will keep it himself. Tries to break around the corner, but will get wrapped up along the edge. Couldn't tell who made that tackle. Oh, it was Charles McCray, and that was a beautiful tackle in open space to avoid Hall being able to bounce it out around the corner, and that will bring up 4th and 5.
And this is what I mean. The North Myrtle Beach punting unit is out, and that is why you just have to get to 4th and 5, because even in that situation, they're punting as the punt is up, and it is fair. No, he's going to let it go, and it'll bounce into the end zone after a count forced bounce. So they will start at the 25-yard line.
Lucky bounce for the Panthers.
A little bit, but I also think that comes from film. Can the punter pin you inside the 5 with a little bit of backspin? Very clearly, he watched film and knew that ball and was able to let it roll.
Yeah.
And I think that just comes from watching film and knowing what your opponents do.
So the Panthers will take over at the 20-yard line again.
With 51 seconds, and this offense has a chance to break this game wide open. And a 21-point lead we have not seen since the West Brunswick game, and that would be very interesting to see.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Motion, Schussler will get it handed off to him on the jet sweep and tries to bounce it around the corner, but will be pushed out of bounds at around the 35.
Maybe he's been listening to the broadcast and after the game because he realizes that they're not going to be able to run right up the middle.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do jet sweeps, and we've already seen two tonight, and we hadn't seen one. Maybe we see one every once in a while, but we don't see them very often here in this offense.
Looks like there was a flag on the play. And looks like it's a holding on the offense. So that'll push them back. That jet sweep will be negated and push them all the way back to the 13-yard line.
So maybe that's why I got so many yards, because there was a holding.
So it'll be 1st and 18 from the 13-yard line. Shotgun set. Bunch 2 on the near side. Snap. Hands it off. Zion Gilbert trying to break around the edge, but he will get wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by number 10. Don't have a number 10 on North Myrtle Beach's roster. So I'm not sure who made that tackle.
So as that's going to end that's actually going to end the quarter.
Yeah, that will end the quarter.
But so with the running to the outside and really the running game in general not really working very well, you're backed up with 2nd and 19 after a run right up the middle that didn't work again. At what point do you just say, you know what? He's down there somewhere. I'm not going to say that on air, but he's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
You just throw it up and you say he's down. He's going to be down there and he's going to go make a play.
Yeah.
Preferably to Nate Schussler, who is your leading receiver. At what point do you just say, you know what, go to the passing game?
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break. Come right back with the second quarter here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. 14-0 Panthers in the lead.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are set to start the second quarter, and we've got some first quarter stats courtesy of the North Myrtle Beach broadcasters. They actually keep the stats. I have to ask Wayne White how he manages to do it all. I may have to have you do it or something on the automatic scorebook. But the Panthers only have 28 rushing yards. They have 52 passing yards. North Myrtle Beach has 100 rushing yards, but -1 passing yards on 2 attempts, 1 completion as we are underway. As Nathan Schussler almost gets a wide open catch. Actually, that was Anthony Aponte. I take that back. Who was running down the top sideline. Oh, it was Nathan Schussler. I thought it was Aponte.
And I know you can't see me on the broadcast, but I am surrender Cobra right now because Nate had that in the breadbasket.
It was wide open. He was wide open down the far sideline, and it was just a tiny bit overthrown by Scott Saylor. So it'll be 3rd and 19.
From here to Aner.
Yes. Yes. So it'll be shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Saylor and some motion.
And they're going to call delay of game here.
Oh, they're going to call delay of game on the Panthers.
And
that's just going to push them back even further.
More passing yards.
Now
that's how I see it.
Now it makes it 3rd and 24.
More passing yards. And you see how Nate beat his man to oblivion on that go route.
And that's the thing with how the Chiefs' defense is athletically. Schussler can do that all day if they so chose. So 3rd and 24, shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. looking, and a screen pass, and he gets blown up in the backfield.
Okay, I want to point out how weird this play call is, and I think weird's a nice way to put it. You have the number 1 passing quarterback in the county. You have the number 1 wide receiver in the county in terms of yards. And you go up on 3rd and 24 and run a screen pass to a running back who has gotten, I don't even know, I don't know his individual stats so far, but.
Well, that was Bryson Johnson, actually, who
So
was out
he-
there.
I don't
He
even
hasn't
think he's gonna
gotten
carry.
any. He hasn't.
So it's just a weird play call for no exact reason.
And they will punt it away.
And put backspin on it.
And that's not good for the Panthers as it gets a Chiefs bounce. And it will be down by Owen Hall at the 37-yard line. So that's where North Myrtle Beach will take over. But Trenton Fredericks came rushing into the backfield and actually absolutely blew up Bryson Johnson on that screen pass.
And just gave no room for even Bryson to make a move or anything on that play. And we were talking about in warm-ups, the kicker for North Myrtle Beach, not that they're going to settle for a field goal anyway, but he can kick from about 35, 45 yards, 35, 40 yards. And it'll be interesting to see how they use that.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far, or shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Chance Hall, 1-step drop, looks near side, it's caught, and making a nice juke move, making one of one of the defenders misses, Caden Gore, and that'll be a Chiefs first down. That'll push him down to the 18-yard line.
And
or 16-yard line, excuse me.
This is concerning because if you're going to allow passing yards to North Myrtle Beach, that is not good at all.
Shotgun pistol set again, 2 wide on the near side. Hall takes the snap, hands it off, trying to break around the corner and gets through a hole and gets all the way down to the 5-yard line is Abraham White. And that'll be another North Myrtle Beach first down, and now the Chiefs offense is starting to get going.
And you gave them very, very good field position.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one of those plays to get them into the goal to go situation was a pass play.
Yeah.
You can't allow a pass play to North Myrtle Beach right now to get big yards.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Their defenders over the goal line is Abraham White, and the Chiefs score their first points of the game.
And just not how you want your third defensive drive to go. You got a scoop and score in the previous one, and then just not a great showing right there. And I get it was great field position for North Myrtle Beach, but at the same time, you'd never want to allow North Myrtle Beach to score when one of their big plays was a passing play as the field or the extra point is up and good, bringing the score to 14-7.
Yeah, I mean, this just reminds me. This kind of does remind me of the Stratford game where the offense started they weren't as good in the Stratford game as they are tonight, but the offense played decently well and they got a lead, but then the defense started struggling later on in the game and allowed Stratford to come back into it.
And I just don't. The play calling on offense is suspect, and word around school or talking to people in school who come to the games or whatever, this is what you don't normally get to get from commentators who don't go to school. But they are talking about how, the offense isn't doing well, blah, blah, blah. Like, the offense is the problem. And I look at them and say, coaching, they're not putting them in a spot to succeed.
Yeah.
And they start to see my point when you see how well Scotty is doing on offense as the kick is up and away, as Anthony Aponte will be back to return it. He's going to take it at the 9, and he's going to take it up the middle. He's going to go east to west.
He could get around
and he's going to get tackled at the 20. No, he got the ball back. Okay. So I was going to say he lost the ball, but I think he lost it on the ground. The ground forced the impact. But he was tackled at the 20-yard line, and that is where the Carolina Forest offense will start the possession. But like I said, people start to see my point when when I kind of explained, like, hey, did you not see the final drive when we went down and scored in like 30 seconds? They kind of see my point then, but it's just the narrative that is being built.
Shotgun set, high snap, and Sailor loses his footing and falls down and will get tapped for a loss of 2.
Not even tapped, because in high school and college you just fall down. And
Oh,
that's where
you're right.
at.
You're right. You're right.
So just falls down and a bad snap and just slipped is not. That's not a great way to start your drive.
No. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. A low snap this time. He is able to get it to Zion Gilbert, but he will get taken down right at the line of scrimmage, and it will now be 3rd and long from the 19. Third and 12. And again, going to the running game when the running game is not working whatsoever.
Especially in 2nd and long, where it's not a situation where you would normally think a run play is necessary. I don't understand some of the play calling that is going on even so far in this game right now.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side, H-back on the near side along with the running back. Sailor takes the snap. He'll go speed option. He'll break through the hole, but he will get taken down at the 27-yard line, well short of the line to gain. And it will now be 4th and 4.
And it'll be interesting to see. This is one of those situations where I don't necessarily know if they're going to go for it, because 4th and 4 from the 30-yard line and 4th and 4 or from the
26-yard line or 27-yard line.
It's a lot different than 4th and 4 from midfield. Yeah. So
and it looks, we'll wait to see. It looks like they're going to go for it. A substitution coming in for the H-back.
And they're not even going to get a play out. They're going to call a timeout. And there was some miscommunication on the substitutions there. And with 8:06 to go, do you set up a play that will go deep, or do you just do you throw another hitch route to Nathan?
You know what I would do? For one, I'd try to draw them offsides.
Right.
And for 2, I would go with a short slant, a short slant route.
Yeah.
I'd go with a short slant route to either Schussler or Anthony Aponte, and just let them do their magic.
And I question if he even goes for it here. And the only reason being because you saw what the defense just did when you give North Myrtle Beach a short field. And it's only a one-possession game. You don't want to give North Myrtle Beach any other opportunities to have a short field in this game.
Is that the Carolina Forest Band playing that? They do realize what North Myrtle Beach is.
No, it's North Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna punt it as Scotty muffs the snap, and another high kick that's gonna take another North Myrtle Beach bounce. And it's gonna roll all the way.
And it's gonna go all the way to the 39-yard line of Carolina Forest, and
that ball landed at like the 49 of Carolina Forest,
and bounced all the way back another 10 yards. So that's some very unlucky situations and an unlucky turn of events for the Panthers in this second quarter, as now the Chiefs have the opportunity to tie the game up with a little under 8 minutes left to go in the half.
And you saw exactly how many passing plays on the last drive?
Zip. Not a zilcho.
And you were behind the down and distance too.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Hands it off. Trying to break through the hole, and does, and gets all the way down to the 33-yard line. Daquan Durham with the carry. And Renardo Parks with the tackle.
Just like I was saying, you're behind the down and distance, which means you're in 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations, but you're still deciding to run the football.
Yeah.
That's just not what I understand.
I don't get it either. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. Hall takes the snap, hands it off, looking for the hole and finding it, trying to get to the first down marker. He will be close as Abraham White takes it down to the 28-yard line. It will be just in front of the first down marker. And so that will be a Chiefs first down.
And just Carolina Forest defense does not look. They look like they settled with their scoop and score and they were done. That's what it looks like right now. And you cannot just stay like that for the entire game because you're going to allow Northern Beach to score.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll throw it this time. Screen pass out to the far side flat, and it is caught and taken down to around the 20-yard line. Alan McCormick with the catch.
It's either a screen or it's a run play.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have defensive backs not playing up on wide receivers on the outside. That's got to be something you see as a coach. It's either a screen or it's a run play. Press your corners. Don't let the screenplay develop at all.
2nd and 3 from the 20. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Hall takes a snap, hands it off, trying to break through the line and gets held up, but is able to push forward close to the first down marker is Abraham White. We'll see where they mark it. It looks like they're going to mark it in front of the first down marker. And waiting to see if the first down chains move. It's right up against the first down marker.
I don't know what they're doing.
And now they finally do move. It took them a few seconds to decide whether they were going to move the chain.
The chain broke. The chain, the first down marker broke.
Oh, that's
it bent in half.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I wonder. I've never seen this happen before in a high school game, so I don't know if they have any backups or anything like that.
If you see it, it's like bent in half at the very bottom. Well, unless they're just moving the chain out to mark.
Oh, no, that's what they're doing. They're measuring it. So they will say he was just short. So it is 4th and inches. Or 3rd and inches. Excuse me.
Third and 1.
Looks like we have a 3rd and short.
And still in the shotgun set, I would just go quarterback sneak here and just get the first down and not have to worry about fourth down.
They'll go pistol with 2 wide on the near side. High snap to Hall. He'll hand it off and oh no, Hall keeps it himself and almost gets into the end zone. Will step out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
That was a play action pass. That was not a designed quarterback run. That was a play action pass. There were wide receivers out for routes. Just no one accounted for. They were all in man.
Yeah.
So no one's looking at the quarterback. They're all facing their guy.
He had a wide open lane down the sideline.
And 1st and 10.
First and goal from the 10.
From the 10.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Hall takes a snap. Triple option, pitches it out, and getting taken down at around the 6 is Daquan Durham. That's the first time we've seen a triple option run by North Myrtle Beach, and I'm kind of surprised with the type of formations they run that they don't use that more often.
3 minutes ago, Stratford 14, St. James 0. Just a quick update for that for the game that we were interested in.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Hall takes a snap, play action, and passes it. Oh no, he keeps it himself. He did throw it to Abraham White in the flat, and he will just step into the end zone for the touchdown. And now an extra point will tie this ball game up.
And I know passing yards are bad, but passing touchdowns are even worse. There is no way. I just don't think the defense is accounting for.
Well, because they were the run game was so prevalent in those first couple of drives. As they go with a fake field goal and try to throw it into the end zone, but it will be incomplete. Well, it was a bad snap. I don't know if it was a designed fake field goal or if it was just a bad snap. But the Panthers get a little bit of a lucky break and have the lead by 1.
Just like, it's bad when you're having to rely on lucky breaks like that for a North Myrtle Beach team that is 1-3 coming into the game and not very good at whatsoever. This team, I think, is worse than last year's team by a good margin, and I think it's just because of Janak leaving.
Yeah.
I think Janak just not being there anymore completely ruins Coach Morris' system, and he's not willing to change.
Exactly. That. It's not so much Janak leaving, it's the fact that he was so instrumental in this offensive system, and Coach Mark Morris just isn't willing to change his strategy. The kickoff will be coming. Kickoff is up.
And we'll go out of bounds.
We'll go out of bounds at around the 20-yard line.
And like I was saying, so I gave the update about 5 minutes ago from Ian Guerin, Stratford 14, St. James nothing. That should tell you something.
Yes.
And we were laughing about it before in the Ian Guerin's ranking, in the power rankings for the area.
St. James was
ahead,
ranked higher than Carolina Forest. That will if that lead stays where it is, that will definitely change next week.
Not only higher than us, but higher than Conway and Socastee as well, which I thought was even crazier.
Yes.
What a world we live in.
Well, I mean, think about Conway lost to Loris last week, and Socastee lost as well. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. A nice slant pass out to Owen Hall, and he will get taken down. He fumbles, though.
No,
they will call him down.
No, he had the ball the entire time.
Oh, okay.
He spun around with it like a Beyblade. He let it rip on that one.
That's an old reference.
Was able to get the first down off the slant pattern, and like we said, just if you continue to go to it, they're leaving the corners for North Myrtle Beach are way off the line of scrimmage, and that's when you can throw the underneath stuff. And that's what Owen Hall did right there and was able to get the catch and the first down.
That was enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm first down. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side at the 50-yard line, and a whistle is blown, flag on the play. Now I'm intrigued because I don't know. Is Beyblades becoming a thing again now?
No, I had.
Oh, you just know about it.
I had a Beyblade collection, as a false start was called. So Carolina Forest will be at 1st and 15 from the 45-yard line. But I had a little bit of a collection of myself. I didn't have the arena. One of my friends had the arena that you throw in. But I had a little collection of myself.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Sailor, 3-step drop, looking far side, going deep, and it is just out of the reach of Anthony Aponte.
Okay, it hit Anthony in the hands. What a throw from Scotty right there. So Anthony Aponte was on a wheel route of sorts on the sideline, and Owen Hall, I think it was, or Nate Schuessler was running kind of on the same sideline. Scotty put it in between Nate's defender and Anthony's defender and threw it in a perfect window. And I think that's part of the reason why it was incomplete.
I mean, he was double covered.
He was basically double covered, but Scotty hit him right there, and just kind of the distraction of the defenders in the area kind of threw him off.
So it will be 2nd and 15.
And play clock's running
Shotgun
down.
set, 3 wide on the far side. Sailor gets the snap off just in time. Read option, lofts it up, and a little too far. But a flag is thrown as Alec Youngblood was pulled down on that play by number 21, King Acosta, the middle linebacker, who was definitely beat by Youngblood. If it wasn't for the pass interference, probably would have been able to catch that off of the post route.
And just kind of just ran right up the seam. And we've seen that a few times, especially in the Stratford game, just right up the seam. And Alec Youngblood, are they moving him? Are they not? Oh, they're okay. They're moving up.
Yeah.
It looked like they were going to move him back for a second. I was very confused, but they will say.
So waiting for the official. Oh, they're just going to call a holding. Not a pass interference, but tomato. It will not give a first down, though, so it is now 2nd and 5. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. They'll hand it off, and Zion Gilbert will get taken down at the 47-yard line. Or, excuse me, 43-yard line.
Just one of those those throws on the previous throw that Alec Youngblood just ran right at the seam and was able to beat his linebacker defender. And we talked about mismatches in the Stratford game, and now we are seeing it in the North Myrtle Beach game.
3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Gil. Oh, no, Saylor keeps it himself and will get held up at the 41-yard line. That will be short of the first down marker. They're going to actually say he just got back to the line, didn't even get to the 41. So it'll be 4th and 2 from the 42.
So North Myrtle Beach is now playing 2 high safeties in a cover 2 shell type of thing where they have 2 back safeties for any deep shot that Carolina Forest throws.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Saylor takes a snap. Read option. Saylor will keep it himself. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet and gets wrapped up at the 32-yard line. That'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
There is a flag on the back of the play, though.
So we will wait to see what the flag is.
And I think this one's coming back.
It's going to be a holding probably.
Well,
on
I
the
thought
Panthers.
there was some extracurricular by a Carolina Forest player on the backside. And I couldn't tell what happened. But I think we'll find out here soon.
So we'll see what the call is.
Unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness on the call there. And
So
that's
that
going
will
to
push
negate
him back. That will negate that Scott Saylor run, that 5-yard run for Scotty Saylor. Actually, I take that back. An 8-yard run by Scotty Saylor.
It also depends on when they call the foul. So if they called it after
So it
the
might
play,
still be a first down if it was called after the play.
If it was called after the play, it'll still be a first down. But I couldn't tell, and the refs are having to talk with North Myrtle Beach's coach. And I can't tell. They're moving it back for sure.
Yeah, they're moving it back. We'll have to wait to see what the decision is in terms of the down. They're going to mark it at the 47-yard line.
And yeah,
Brings the ball back to the 47.
But it will be a first down. So it was called after the play. So it will still be first down for the Panthers. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Or actually 3 wide on the near side. Saylor takes the snap, looking screen, passes it low, and it is incomplete. Trying to go to Finney Mahood, and just could not quite hang on to it. That pass was short, and Mahood had to reach down to try to catch it and just could not come up with it.
So on the 3 wide, when they had 3 wide on the near side,
Yeah.
I was talking about the cover 2 shell, which means they have 2 defenders back, just playing basically safe. They're the last line of defense. When they have 3 on the wide, 3 wide on the near side, they don't have a room for that. So you have one-on-one matchups on the near side there.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side again. 5-step drop for Saylor. He'll go deep, and it is caught down the sideline for a first down. Oh, no.
Just short.
Just short of the first down. Anthony Aponte with the catch.
And that is a great
And
catch on the sideline.
he will go out of bounds at the 41-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 4.
Little comeback route to the sideline and was able to catch it with 2 defenders draped on him.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side again. They'll go read option. Saylor will find a hole, get a first down and more before getting taken down at the 34-yard line, and that will be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And we're already starting to run under 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. And
14-13, Panthers in the lead.
And I think this could be a situation where Carolina Forest, with getting the ball at the start of the second half, could double up on the scoring and break this game open.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side, looking short. On the flat route, passes out to Youngblood, and he will get pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line after a gain of 4.
And again, we've seen this with Scotty time and time again. 1 read, 2 read, hit your check down, get the yards that you can, and stay ahead in the chains. And that's one of the biggest things of offenses. You need to stay in front of the chains and not get yourself into 2nd and 3rd and long.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side on the 3rd and 5 from the 29-yard line. Hands it off. Zion Gilbert blasts through the hole and will get taken down right at the 24-yard line, right by the marker. And I think he'll be just short. Yeah, he'll be just short. So it'll be 3rd and inches from the 24.
Ball looks to be on the 24.
And we've seen back-to-back on 3rd down. We've seen the read option by Scotty Saylor. I wonder if they'll go back to it again. And it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Shotgun set, 2 wide plus the H-back on the near side. They will go read option, midline read option, and Saylor keeps himself, bounces to the outside, and he'll slide into the end zone for a touchdown.
And we saw it 3 times now on that drive. 3rd down, and they went right to the read option. And I don't know if you saw this, but Scotty lowered his shoulder against the linebacker and just moved him out the way. Reminds me of when Matthew Stafford did it a couple years ago, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, a quarterback just trucked a linebacker. And that is what we just saw there, and what a great run by Scotty. But again, it proves again that why is Scotty our leading running rusher?
Yeah. The extra point from Chaddock. Kick is up. And good, and with 1:26 left to go in the half, it is now 21-13. Panthers in the lead, and not to get too far ahead of ourselves, especially with how the defense has been in the last couple of drives. But with the Panthers playing, especially on offense, how well they are today, does this kind of, like we talked about last week, does this kind of make good from the struggles they had during the road stint and now gets their confidence back up going into region play?
I think it can get the confidence back up. I think this score that and how they scored will give us a little bit of confidence too. Stratford 21, St. James nothing 5 minutes ago from Ian Guerin after a 62-yard Lance-to-pass touchdown run with 3:49 left in the half. Wow. Wow is right.
As the kickoff is up and is fielded at the 30-yard line, still on his feet and stepping out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Chase Sturgeon with the return.
And Stratford might have scored 14 on us, but they didn't score 21.
No.
And they still have a whole other half to play, and St. James still hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, Stratford scored 14 throughout the whole game. They just scored 21 in the first half on St. James. I think that score basically says that more than likely St. James will be the odd man out again for, the 5th or 6th straight year?
Since the dinosaurs were around?
Yes. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Rolling out is Hall. Hall looking, and coming from behind and wrapping him up for the sack.
That's number 16.
Is number 99, Junior.
By 99, Mr. Errol Jimenez.
Junior Jimenez with the tackle.
I made sure to give that correction.
I know.
His legal name and the name that everyone goes by is completely different.
Yes.
Junior on the sack there, and he was able to come from behind and just
that
tackle
was
him.
Some good chase down and good pursuit by Junior. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Rolling out to his left and throwing incomplete, too high.
Ball falls incomplete.
Trying to get it out to Landon Cloninger on that pass.
And this is what I mean. 3rd and long, and even 2nd and long, you know what they have to pass the football. If you can make them throw the football in obvious passing situations, I believe in our defense to stop this passing offense.
So it'll be 3rd and 12 from the 38.
Only 38 seconds to go, but if there's an incomplete pass here, I wonder if Coach Mark Morris steps on the gas on the offensive side.
Well, it also depends upon what North Myrtle Beach does on 4th down.
Right.
3 wide on the far side, shotgun set. Hall takes the snap, hands it off, trying to bounce it to the outside, and does, using his speed and getting up to the 1st down marker is number 3, Evans Bellamy. That's the first time we've seen him today. And he gets taken down by Jordan Pugh right at the first down marker, and they will give it to him.
And never
So
mind.
much for your idea. But now I'm kind of surprised at the 50-yard line, less than half a minute left to go in the half. I'm surprised Greg Hill isn't calling a timeout, though.
Right.
He's just letting the clock run down as they snap it. 3-step drop, throwing it down the middle, incomplete.
Ball falls incomplete to number
And
2.
to your
Trying
point,
to get it to Caden Gore.
And to your point, 31 seconds was on the clock before, at the very end of
Yeah,
that play.
and there's
now we're
only
down
12.4.
Right, and I think that it looks like I think Coach Mark Morris on the Northridge sideline. Can you check for me? Are we sure he's not on that sideline?
No, I see him right there.
Oh, okay, good.
I see him on our side.
Okay, so that again, just to my point, it kind of just looks like Coach Mark Morris's clock management from the Oceanside game.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Hall takes the snap, 5-step drop, gets some pressure, and is able to get it off, but incomplete.
There's going to be a flag on the play for either a holding or a pass interference, depending on when the ball was thrown, and that gives them free yards. And we were talking about it might actually come into effect. The kicker for Northwood Reach was hitting in pregame from 45, was barely how he was getting over the crossbar, but it could come into effect here if they get a couple only about 5 more yards.
Maybe 5 more yards. They're on the Panthers' 40-yard line with 8.1 seconds left to go, so they'd have to get a quick pass or a quick gain right here. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hall takes the snap. 5-step drop, getting pressure, stepping up into the pocket, throws it far side, and it's caught by Landon Cloninger, and he's able to step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Oh, actually, excuse me, the 27-yard line, and that'll be another North Myrtle Beach first down. And now with a second and 6/10 of a second, the Chiefs will take a timeout, and now you'd have to imagine that they are going to have Jack Garska come out.
And I think, hey, maybe we can get some Stratford magic out here, and we can get another blocked kick, and maybe we can return this one for a touchdown. That'd be a way to end that. We'll talk about this more, obviously, at the halftime. But just one of the things that it feels like we should be winning this game by 21-14 right now. But it's only an 8-point game, and pending the field goal attempt. So it just feels like the Stratford game. It feels like we are playing with an easy opponent, and we just need to go ahead and take the victory.
So actually, it's Preston Todd who comes out to kick, or is that? I can't tell. Is that a 5 or a 9?
The kicker?
Yeah.
He's to the side.
Yeah, he's to the side, so I can't.
Turn around. He's gonna pick up the flag.
There's a flag.
He picked it up. He picked it up. That's 19? I can't tell. He's turned to the side right now.
But either way, it will be a 44. And, Panthers might have got a hand on that one again. So that'll send us into the half with the Panthers with an 8-point lead, 21-13. Panthers in the lead. Will take a quick break and come right back with some halftime stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You're listening to Carolina
here at Panther Stadium on homecoming as they're doing the homecoming king and queen festivities on the field right now. And we've got some first half stats for you guys. First off, 21-13 Panthers in the lead. Panthers, both the Panthers and Chiefs have 9 first downs. For rushing yards, well, not really all that surprising considering the play calling, but the Panthers have more rushing yards than the Chiefs do. 83 as compared to 71, both on 19 attempts, though. For passing yards, Panthers, surprise, surprise, have a lot more. 72 as compared to 47.
Yeah.
On 6 completions, 10 attempts for Scott Saylor. 5 completions, 8 attempts for Chance Hall. So in total, Panthers have a little more offense than the Chiefs do. 155 as compared to 118. And the big play thus far, I would have to say, is that 10-yard fumble recovery touchdown for the Panthers. Scott Saylor on 6 rushing attempts has 62 yards rushing, along with 1 touchdown. Zion Gilbert, 20 runs, or 17 net yards on 10 attempts, less than 1 yard per attempt.
Yeah, that's not where
1.7 yards per carry. Scott Saylor, 6 of 10 passing for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. Nate Schuessler leading the team with 52 yards receiving along with 1 touchdown. Owen Hall with 15 yards receiving. Anthony Aponte has 6, and Alec Youngblood has 4. For North Myrtle Beach, Daquan Durham leading the team in rushing with 26 yards. Abraham White has 25 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. Evans Bellamy, 12 rushing yards. And Chance Hall has a net of 8 yards, has gained 25, has lost 17 on a couple of sacks by the Panthers defense. Chance Hall, 5 of 8 passing for 47 yards and a touchdown. Alan McCormick has 14 yards and a touchdown reception. Caden Gore, 21 receiving yards. Landon Cloninger, 13 receiving yards. And Anderson White, -1 receiving yards for him. So yeah, the Panthers should be higher up than they are, I would have to say.
So I found all of the scores within the region so far.
Let's hear them.
I have Stratford at St. James 28-0 at half.
Okay.
I have all right. Guess these. Okay. Given Sumter beat Somerville 16-0.
Yep.
What would be the score of the Oceanside Sumter football game at half?
I'll say 14-7 Sumter.
21-0 Oceanside.
Wow.
Oceanside with 21 in the first half, and Sumter with a goose egg on the scoreboard against Oceanside. And the Conway-Ainer game, 8-7, Ainer winning.
Okay. That, considering how well Loris played against Conway last week, I kind of expected that. So it looks like,
and I had it for a second. The Dutch Fork is playing St. Francis, the number 3 team in the country.
Yes.
And I had the score for a second, and I got to go find it again.
But considering, while you find that, considering how each of the teams have played against certain respective opponents, and considering how each team has played just in general, it looks to me as though it's going to be probably Sumter, battle between Carolina Forest and Socastee for 2, and then battle between Conway and St. James on who is left out of the playoffs this season.
I would tend to agree with that. I can't. I swear I found it like 3 minutes ago. And
Well, while
you
find that, I'll go through some of the players from each of these teams who are at the next level in the college ranks. Last week, Mason Garcia got on the field in garbage time at the end of the game. Completed 5 of 7 passes for 39 yards and rushed for 11 yards. David Leggett on the in the meantime for Wofford rushed for 7 yards. This week, East Carolina facing off against Navy and Wofford facing off against Kennesaw State. For the Chiefs, they have five players currently in Division I for football. Their quarterback last year, Cam Freeman, is currently at Georgia Tech for baseball. He's more of a baseball player than a football player. And they lost one player from last year. The other Hall on the football and baseball team for North Myrtle Beach, Trace Hall, is now at East Carolina. Last week, Chase Simmons assisted on 3 tackles. Tyler Gore had 4 solo tackles while assisting on 2, including a tackle for loss at UT Martin. And this week, like I mentioned, East Carolina facing off against Navy. Florida State and Boston College play UT Martin faces Lindenwood. And tonight, Syracuse and Vaught Tech, 2 of the former Chiefs, facing off head-to-head against each other. Excuse me, not Virginia Tech. I messed that up. I meant Virginia. Syracuse and Virginia. Chase Simmons at Syracuse, Henry Duke at Virginia. So that is, those are some of the guys that have gone to the next level for both of these teams. A lot of guys from the last couple of years. These 2 teams, obviously North Myrtle Beach, making it to the state championship a couple of years ago. So both of these teams have had some very good players over the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
So as we are a few minutes away from the start of the second half.
So
Go ahead.
So just one thing I wanted to mention. So based on the scores, we're going to assume St. James is going to go 3-3 at the end of this week. We're gonna skip us for a second because we still don't know what's gonna happen in this second half. Conway is currently losing right now. It's still a close game against Aner, so we don't know if they're gonna go to 2-4. And Socastee is idle this week. They have a bye week. So Sumter is down by 21 at half. St. James is down by 28 at half. We're the only team in the county or in the region leading right now.
No.
And again, we talked about this last week. Parity is great for people who are away or just watch the games. Parity is not fun for us. We hate parity. We would like us to just be dominant. But it's kind of one of those things where it's fun to watch. It makes every game matter.
And next week will be an interesting test. Obviously, Carolina Forest not playing. They get their bye week. Seems like they always have their bye week right when region play starts, the first week of region play. Next week, St. James and Conway face off, and Sumter and Socastee face off. So it'll be an interesting little test, both games, honestly, to see where everyone is. Like you mentioned, the parity, it seems like we just mentioned a little while ago. It seems like Sumter is definitely head and shoulders above everyone else. Even if they lose to Oceanside by a lot and Carolina Forest only lost to them by a little bit, that's not one of those transitive property things that really add up to me. So Sumter is at the top. Then I would say it's a battle between Carolina Forest and Socastee on who's going to get the number 2 spot.
I'd throw Conway in there just because of how even everybody's
But look at how poorly they've played against 3A teams over the last 2 weeks.
I get that, but at the same time, Conway always seems to step it up somehow in region
That's
play.
true.
So,
Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
right, and I think we just pencil in St. James at the bottom just because they are the bottom. But at the same time, if there was any year that we thought it was going to be last year.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be last year.
But if there's any year, I feel like it's this year because of how, outside of Sumter, how even Region 5, 5A has been this year. And that's going to be weird. That's going to take a while to get used to because it's 5 and
I know.
six.
It's still weird to me too, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, we're getting into region play next week. You know what's crazy to me though? Do you realize we're over halfway through the season already?
I said that we were halfway through, and it really doesn't feel like that. And I think it's because we didn't go to the South Florence game.
That's also
And
true. Yeah.
I think that's kind of how, like, why we feel like it's only so far in. And I think just because we didn't go to that game.
And also because of how chaotic those 3 weeks were of the road trip.
I think you just have to realize that we skipped a week.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a bye week next week.
Yep.
And
then 4 straight region games to finish off the season.
Oh yeah. Here's my hope. My hope is that we finish top 2.
I think we will.
And we don't have to go
Travel
anywhere for a playoff game.
Yeah. Well, but that's assuming that we lose that first round game. Because then unless like there's an upset in the other matchups, like in the bracket, we would then have to travel to whatever the number 1 seed team is.
Yeah.
I don't believe the bracket has come out yet for the playoffs this season, but it's usually, I know. Well, there's only 2 other regions in the lower. Or actually, I think that might have changed this year.
I think it did too.
So,
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think it did change this year. Just, I don't know. I think, this again, we've talked about this a lot. It's going to be like last year where, we suck. But like we're still second in the region.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once we get into region play where this team really is, because another thing too that we've talked about before about non-region play is, not that he doesn't care if the Panthers win or not, but Mark Morris likes using non-region games as more of just like kind of not really preseason, but just preparing his team for region.
I think preseason is the right word. I think because we always talk about that when I played basketball. It was, look, don't sweat yourself over the like. It looks good to win, but the region games is where it matters. And I think that it's just one of those things where you have to, like, you have to just kind of give and take with what you say about the team so far, just because it's not region play yet, and you've played three very hard teams to beat.
Yes. And we are starting to get ready for the second half. What do the Panthers need to do in the second half to make sure they maintain this lead?
I think it's what they don't need to do. I think they need to stop running the gosh darn football.
Fair enough.
Stop running the football. I don't know if you've seen the hat, but it's like run the dang ball.
Yeah.
Pass the dang ball.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
No.
It's just not fun.
And I was right, by the way. I looked it up. There are 7 regions now in 5A.
Yeah.
So the other, I'm not sure what what Region 4 is going to be considered, whether it's upstate or lower state.
Right.
But in Region 4, you've got Chapin, Dutch Fork, Lexington, River Bluff, and White Knoll.
Oh, geez.
So if you have to face off against the number 1 team of that region after winning your opening game, that's more than likely Dutch Fork.
Jeez.
Region 6 is Berkeley, Cane Bay, Goose Creek, Stratford, and Wando. So one of those games, Goose Creek, you might be able to win, or at Berkeley, you might be able to win that game in the second round. And then Region 7 is Ashley Ridge, Fort Dorchester, Stall, Somerville, and West Ashley. That's another one that it would be very tough to beat the number 1 team in that region.
Yeah, it would be really tough, but it's also one of those things where you have to win that opening matchup too.
Well, of course, but I'm saying assuming,
looking ahead,
yeah.
right? Just a horror, like, it's not horrible because it balances out a lot, but I think you have to kind of take, if we make the playoffs and win a game in the playoffs, that's a win for this season.
Definitely, especially considering what happened last year.
Right. I just want to point out the black hole is standing room only.
This place is packed.
You cannot sit anywhere in the stands. It is packed.
I mean, that's what you expect, considering it's homecoming.
It's homecoming, and the fact that the school is 3,000 kids strong.
Now, one thing I'm a little surprised at, honestly, is that the visiting side of the bleachers is not completely full, because it's not like North Myrtle Beach is 2 miles away.
Yeah, I think it just kind of has something to do with, like, people just don't like going to away games. I think that's kind of what it is.
Fair enough.
I
mean, I would understand it if it were like, traveling down to Charleston or something like that, or Florence or what have you. But when it's just basically just up the road, I'm kind of surprised.
I think you just kind of have to take what you can, and again, we're about to start the second half, and like you love to say, you love getting balls start the second half.
Yes.
And
hey, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now the Panthers have the opportunity to take a 2-possession lead.
Right, and I think you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt that if your offense doesn't score here, it's almost wasted.
Yeah,
it almost feels like you deferred for no reason almost. Because this is the exact situation you defer for. And you have to assume that you're going to score, and you can't necessarily assume that with how the offense has been very consistent tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be this drive. I know it's the beginning of the second half.
Yeah.
But I think this drive will define what happens the rest of the game.
Right. As the kick is up and away, and we start the second half, and it'll take a bounce, and he will let it roll out of bounds for another start to the 40-yard line for this Carolina Forest Panthers offense. And again, I say we don't want 50-50 anymore. That was what our first goal was. I think we've kind of gotten there.
Yeah.
I want 80-20.
You want to go full NFL style.
I want 85-15 with the only runs being jet sweeps. That's where I'm at with this offense right now. And I don't think that's too much of an exaggeration, to be honest with you. I think because of how little the offensive running game has worked, you have to
outside of those read options with Scott.
Right.
So shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off. Zion Gilbert tries to break around the corner. He's still on his feet, gets a little bit of a lane, and will get tripped up at the 48-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And that was the best run of the day by anyone not named Scotty Saylor.
And you want to know why I think that run worked so well? Because it was an outside zone. It was not a run up the middle. It was an outside zone to the near side where you have the most people, and you were able to get a very clear running lane for Zion Gilbert to run
and the
through.
Blocks worked.
That too.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off. This time Bryson Johnson coming into the game, and he will get stood up at the 50-yard line for a gain of 2. Actually, they'll just give him to the 49. So a gain of 1 for Bryson Johnson.
And it feels like you have to have a bad play after you have a very good gain. That's what it feels like. This offense takes 2 steps forward and
1 step back.
And you can't get momentum like that.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, one-step drop, looking down the far side, caught by Schuessler, and he puts on the Jets, going down the far side sideline, and he'll get tripped up at the 10-yard line. What a huge gain by Nathan Schuessler, showing off that speed and elusiveness to get a 40-yard gain, and that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm first down, and it's first and goal.
And Nate Schuessler caught that on the slant and planted 1 foot and went. And that's how he got past his defender. Is his defender couldn't flip his hips quick enough, and he was able to get past.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Zion Gilbert. He gets a lane. He's still on his feet. He reaches in and tumbles into the end zone for a Carolina Forest touchdown.
And Zion broke at least 3 tackles on that run play, and that shows how well the run game can work when it's coupled with when you throw the ball first. The offense should not be run, pass.
Yeah.
It should be pass, run after they push back.
It's reverse of what most traditional coaches think.
Right.
As the extra point is up and good, and that extends the lead out to 28-13. But yeah, it's the opposite of what most traditional coaches think, where it's run creates the passing opportunities. For the Panthers, it needs to be the passing game needs to open up the running game.
And I think it can go both ways, and you're starting to see it now in the NFL with the explosion of passing offenses.
That is true.
And it was explained perfectly by a tweet that I saw. When defenses start playing too high, you run the ball.
Yeah.
And then when the meta changes to running the football, that's when you see the one high safety. That's when you start throwing the ball again.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's and you're starting to see the same thing in basketball. You see the evolution of the 3-point line,
where the 3-pointer is now feeding into the layup.
Right, and you see it, and you see the Houston Rockets offense from 2017. That's what it was. It was either a 3-pointer or a layup.
Yeah.
And obviously,
that's always been my thought in terms of basketball is who cares about mid-range jumpers?
As the kick is up, and he will fair catch it at the 35-yard line, and that's where Northwood Beach will start their drive. And like you said, why? And it's just the evolution of the game.
Yeah.
And Mark Morse, maybe we're starting to see him evolve a little bit. Maybe we're leveling him up like a Pokemon, and he's starting to evolve a little bit. All the old game references.
I'm just saying, you're bringing
today.
out the old school, early 2000s video game / Beyblade
references.
all the teen games references today. This should be my job, not your job. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Snap, hands it off, trying to break through the hole, but a prowl of Panthers will stand up Daquan Durham at the 40-yard line. They will say he actually pushed it all the way to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that second effort by the offensive line who came up behind him and just shoved him in. You see that a lot. He'll look like he stood up, but the offensive line will come back and push.
Yeah, you're expecting the whistle to be blown even though he's not down yet. They just keep it going.
Right.
So it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 43-yard line.
And this is a possession by the defense that you have to get a stop and keep some momentum for yourself after their offense went down and scored in a timely fashion.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off again to Durham. Durham will blast his way through the line, get the first down and more, and a prowl of Panthers will stand him up again, and he will get stopped at the 49-yard line. And Daquan Durham, he's only 6'3", 190, yet he has that lower body strength that's helping him keep standing up, even with 4, 5, 6 Panthers around him.
And I wonder how much of that 190 is muscle mass.
Yeah.
That's really like the important thing, especially unless you're 300 pounds at a high school level. Then as long as you're able to move,
exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Shotgun set, 2 wide. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. High snap. They'll fake a handoff, triple option, and Hall will get down to the 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3.
And Manning hit on the tackle there, and he's the leading tackle, or he's the leading. He leads the team in tackles. That's what I was gonna say tackler, but I don't know if that's a word.
It is.
but he leads the team in tackles, and you saw he is the anchor of this defense so far. And if I had to give out a defensive MVP, that is who I would give it to.
2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. And a whistle is blown. I think it's going to be a false start on the Chiefs.
And if it takes an offensive penalty to get them into 2nd and long, I'll take it. But it's also not a good sign that you're relying on offense. And we said this a lot. I feel like a broken record. Again, feel like a broken record. I feel like I'm saying the same stuff as last year and earlier this year. You're relying on the offense to make mistakes.
So it will now be 2nd and 11, yes. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Play action pass, dumps it down to the flat, and it's caught. Stepping out of bounds is Abraham White. And that will be a gain of 10. He'll be marked just short of the first down marker. It will be 3rd and 1 from the 42-yard line.
And this right here is a big 3rd down just because you have to get off the field here. And, again, we've said this time and time again, if you get them into 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, they're going to punt the football.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Hall takes a snap. Oh, no, they do hand it off, and getting stuff in the backfield is Abraham White.
And that is exactly what we needed out of the Carolina Forest defense right there. Push them back to 4th and 4, and they're bringing the punt unit out. And, again, we've questioned North Beach's conservativeness. There's still a lot of time. But down by two possessions when you need a 2-point conversion, I don't understand why you don't go for it. Your offensive rushing game has been plenty over 4 yards a carry. You just need 4 yards, and I don't want to know why they're punting this football right now.
So the punt by Preston Todd is up. A short, high punt.
Oh,
they will lay it bounce.
And he'll at the 6-yard line.
And that ball will go out of bounds at the 6-yard line. And I guess the scouting report wasn't 100% correct that we were talking about earlier, as that was a perfect coffin corner by Preston Todd.
That was, and to his credit, that was a good coffin corner. But also the ball rolled to quite a few, about 15 yards, but just was able to angle that punt towards the corner.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor, low snap. He's able to, play action. And he throws it, and it's completed to Nathan Schuessler. And he's taken down at the 40-yard line. Great play action pass by Scott Saylor, and a good recovery for him from that low snap.
I'm going to be real. I don't think that was the design play action.
No, it was not.
At all.
No, it did not look like it, but it was good improvisation.
He was just able to find Nate Schuessler one-on-one, and your best man's going to win in a one-on-one situation.
So that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm first down. They'll run the play action, and Scott Saylor will be blown up in the backfield.
And I think that might have been a design QB run, a little bit of read option there. I don't think the play developed long enough for us to tell either way. But, again, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It feels the offense is not in rhythm enough to where it should be.
So it'll be 2nd and 14 from the 38-yard line. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off, and again, Zion Gilbert gets blown up in the backfield. Number 25, DJ Goss, the defensive end, came in quickly off the edge and blew that play up, and it's now 3rd and 14.
And I've said this time and time again, but I'll make mention of it right now. There's one-on-one coverage on the outside with your wide receivers. Owen Hall and Nathan Schuessler. You can trust both of them to go make a deep ball catch. Throw it up right now.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on the other side. 2-step drop, passes out. Schuessler makes the catch. And he gets the first down and more. Down the sideline, he could go, and he will step out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
There is a flag in the back of the play, but a hitch route by Nate, it was about a 10-yard hitch.
Yeah.
And he was able to come back and make another guy miss and was just able to beat his man to the outside, and he got tripped up at the end, but great catch and run by Nate Schuessler, and that is why Scotty and Nate are the #1 passing and receiving duo in the county. As I want to say the penalty was going to be a roughing the passer, because when I looked over there, Scotty was on his back.
Yeah, so we're waiting to see the penalty, but as we have the opportunity, I just want to mention, during that last drive, I meant to mention, Manning Hitt has done an amazing job of stepping into those big shoes of Luke Janax in the middle linebacker position this season.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was one
and you are right, it is roughing the passer.
And I think that was one of the more underrated parts of Janax's game was his defensive impact.
Yeah, it was.
22 tackles in the Sockesty game last homecoming. Just absolutely, he was the anchor of this defense last year. Now Manning Hitt is now the anchor of this defense this year.
So the roughing the passer moves it up to the 11-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Ball is on the 12-yard line. 1st and 10.
Shotgun set. 2 wide on the near side. 5:15 left to go in the third quarter. 28-13, Panthers in the lead. Sailor takes a snap, 1-step drop, looking near side on the slant route, oh no, just a little past Anthony Aponte.
And Anthony, that was a little high. Anthony he had his hands on it, but it was a little outside of his catch radius and just could not haul it in. But again, slant route with Anthony Aponte, he's filling the Julian Edelman, Wes Welker type of role very, very well. Nate Schuessler, for the Patriots, the continued Patriots, the Randy Moss, if you will, like the deep play threat, and then you have the underneath routes that can easily be caught when you take the top off the defense.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They hand it off to Zion Gilbert, and he gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. And it will now be 3rd and 9.
And I
3rd and 8.
This is where you go back to Anthony Aponte on that slant, because it was wide, it was open the first attempt on it, but just could not haul it in. This is where you go right back to it and say, put the ball in the hands of our speed and our fastest wide receiver.
3rd and 8, ball on the 11-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. 5-step drop for Sailor. Sailor looks up the middle and he throws it short, trying to get it to Owen Hall.
There is a flag
on the field.
Flag on the field, and this is like right behind the line of scrimmage is where he threw the flag. So this could realistically go either way, but it could be offside, which would give them a replay or a 5-yard. It would be a replay of the down, and it would give them 5 yards.
False start though on the Panthers.
So it's illegal motion probably.
Yeah.
False start, they would blow it.
Oh
dead.
yeah, you're right.
So,
so illegal motion. You're right.
But honestly, if I'm North Myrtle Beach's head coach right here, I would almost think of declining it, because 4th and 9. You have to trust
it though.
You have to trust your defense enough though.
Yeah.
I think him accepting that penalty right there tells me as a spectator that he does not trust his defense enough on a 4th and 9 play.
So it'll be 3rd and wait, they moved it back up to the position where it was at. False start. Oh yeah, okay. So he did decline it.
So, and especially because it's 4th and 9, you have to trust your defense enough to, if they go for it, they don't get it, and they are going to go for it.
They are going for it. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Motion. They'll run the jet sweep. Hands it off. Nathan Schuessler finds a hole and gets pushed up close to the yard to gain. It will be right up against the first down marker at the 3-yard line. We'll see where they mark it.
It's going to look like they're going to give it to him. Haven't seen an official ruling.
Yeah. They may come out to measure this. Let's see.
North Myrtle Beach's defense is running off. Carolina Forest offense is still on the field. And they are going to bring out the measuring.
Yeah, they're going to measure it.
So, while we have the time.
Oh no, they're just going to call it.
Jeez. Well, so now the only good part about that is
you pin them deep into their own territory. Now here's the question.
I send zero blitz.
I was just going to say, do you send everyone and try to get a safety?
Just throw everybody at them because they have not thrown the football well at all this today.
And a lot of their passes have been screen passes or short, dump outs. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for North Myrtle Beach. Shotgun set. 2 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off, finding a hole and getting out past the 10-yard line is Daquan Dunham.
And there's a late flag, and that's going to be unnecessary. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's going to be a unnecessary roughness. There was a shove at the very end by a North Myrtle Beach player.
So that'll push him right back,
and that'll push him. Almost because of the gain he got and because it was after the play, that might push him all the way back down to like the 2-3 yard line.
Well, it would be halfway, the distance.
I thought if there was room for the entire penalty, then you just take the entire penalty.
You might be right
because
we'll have to wait and see what.
Because I know it might still be it'll still be first down because it was after the play, but I'm almost 100% sure that if you have room.
Well, no, he didn't get the first down.
Yeah, they're pushing it back to close to the original line.
So it is unnecessary roughness.
7-yard line.
Yeah, no, they're only going to push it back to the 7.
Yeah, it'll still be a first down. It'll still be a first down, though. So I was wrong. I apologize. Feeding misinformation.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line.
Plus is, though, they're still within their own 10-yard line, which is still very pinned back a lot.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hall gets the snap, hands it off, bouncing through the hole, and still on his feet, finally getting wrapped up at around the 27-yard line. Daquan Durham finds the hole and gets a huge gain. And that's something that has impressed me with the North Myrtle Beach offense. The offensive line has been creating these gaping holes for these running backs.
And they're just able to just part the Red Sea, if you will.
Yeah.
Just able to run, and for the running backs to run right through and give them wide open space.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, hands it off. Durham finding the hole again, still on his feet, and will get pushed out of bounds at around the 37-yard line. They'll give him 38. So it will be second. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, they're going to give him the first down. It was right at the marker. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 38.
And maybe got away with a little bit of a hold on the edge there, and it really looks like that he was able to just not. He got away with a little bit of a hold and was able to kind of get away with it a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
bit.
bit.
But I mean, as multiple offensive linemen have said, there is a hold on every single play.
Oh, yeah.
In football.
Looks like timeout for the Panthers.
So the Panthers call a timeout with 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. 28-13, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
28-13, Panthers in the lead with 3.5 left to go in the third quarter. North Myrtle Beach trying to get their first points of the second half. right here. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Shotgun set, pistol set, 2 wide on the far side, rolling out off the play action and passing it complete. Stepping out of bounds at around the 48-yard line is Caden Gore.
And with how effective the North Myrtle Beach run game is, or has been so far this game, you have to be aware that that play action rollout is going to be a play call that you see time and time again.
So they'll mark him down at the 49-yard line, and that will be enough for a North Myrtle Beach first down.
And it's going to be it'll be interesting to see if Carolina Forest defense can rally back and get a stop and keep North Myrtle Beach out of this game, because if you get a stop and a score here, you put yourself in a great opportunity to put this game away.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Snap, hands it off, trying to blast through the line, but being held up by a Prowler Panthers. But again, a nice job by Abraham White being able to push his body forward and getting a couple of extra yards. He gets taken down at the 48-yard line.
And you want to talk about just overpowering by the offensive line. Just the second push by the offensive line continually for North Myrtle Beach is absolutely ridiculous. The second and third chances that they're being able to get because the offensive line is coming back and pushing is great for the North Myrtle Beach offense.
So it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 48. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Stepping up into the pocket is Hall, and he will get wrangled down right at the line of scrimmage. And I believe that was Manning hit again, coming in from the middle linebacker position. That was a great read by him. I'm not sure if he was in a zone coverage or a QB spy, but either way, he saw Chance Hall step up in the pocket, and he came in and plowed him down.
And I was going to say, maybe they've employed a QB spy because on the pass plays, Hall has taken the ball for himself a couple times already.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. Hall, high snap, play action, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, and throws it way over the head of Caden Gore. And that'll bring up a 4th and 8 for North Myrtle Beach.
And this is just I get it's 4th and 8 this time, but we don't have very much time to keep punting the ball for North Myrtle Beach. Obviously, I'd love to see it as a Carolina Forest fan, but it still baffles me why they're still not going for it down by 2 scores with a 2-point conversion needed late in the third quarter.
And they are going to punch it away. Snap. The punt is a good one. And again, he'll let it bounce. A good coffin Carter and trying to hold it inside of the end zone, or outside of the end zone rather, but it is able to roll into the end zone. Good attempt there, though, by Trenton Fredericks trying to come up with that one, trying to knock it back into play and keep it out of the end zone.
Just it almost sat there.
Yeah. Just a tiny bit too far. So the Panthers will take over at the 20-yard line and try to look to extend this 15-point lead. 1:38 left to go in the third quarter. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor takes the snap, 0-step drop, passes it off to Owen Hall on a slant route, and he makes the catch and is taken down at the 28-yard line. Good, quick little slant route by Owen Hall right there. Just got wide open. The cornerback, number 5, Rodrigo Goss, was playing way back on him, and Hall was able to just go on the slant route and was wide open. And a good job by Saylor seeing him and just hitting him. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Motion offense. Schuessler moves to the near side into the slide. Rolling out to his right. Saylor looking, throws it up, and it's caught. Alec Youngblood with the catch, and he'll step out of bounds at around the 49-yard line. Actually, that was Nathan Schuessler going across the field on I don't even know if it was a slant route or an in route.
A little cross. That's one of those routes that you just tell your wide receiver go across the field.
Yeah.
You see it more in college in the high school game than you do the NFL because the NFL is so much more sharp routes. But you saw it there, and it worked beautifully.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off. Trying to get through, but getting taken down after a gain of 1 is Zion Gilbert. He'll get taken down at the 49-yard line.
And again,
half a minute left to go in the quarter.
And again, run right up the middle after a big gain on the offense, just it doesn't flow at all. You have to keep the defense on their heels. You can't let them sit back and give them a little break.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off again to Gilbert. Gilbert tries to get around the corner, but gets taken down at the 48-yard line after a gain of just 1 again, and that will end the third quarter. So after 3, it is 28-13, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break and come right back for the final quarter of this game, of the final game of the non-region schedule, here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Final quarter of this game, 28-13, Panthers in the lead. And you want to guess how many rushing yards the Panthers have by Scott Saylor?
My guess is probably like 60.
Yeah, but you're off by 1 yard.
No.
59.
59. Of course it's 59. Of course I'm off by 1. That's just my life.
Zion Gilbert has 44 rushing yards. Whereas Scott Saylor, any guesses on his passing yards?
Well, he had like what, 100 and some yards at half, so probably about 160 something.
A little more than that. He's got 219 passing yards. Well, it's because of that one long pass to Nathan Schutzler. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Panthers have it 3rd and 8 from the 48-yard line. A pass to the outside, trying to get it to Anthony Aponte. He does make the catch, but he's taken down basically right at the line of scrimmage. Gets a gain of 1. And it is now 4th and 7 from the 47-yard line. And we'll see. Looks like the Panthers might be going for it. Yeah, looks like they're going to go for it. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. 3-step drop for Saylor. He looks up the middle and
catch.
Oh, it's caught.
Now, I don't know where. That might be a generous
spot. That's going to be. Oh, wow. They're going
to give it to him. The spot right now is
Anthony Aponte made the catch basically right at the first down marker, and they give him an extra yard essentially at the 39-yard line, and that's enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And that was that was a very improvised play right there, and he was just able to find the open man for the first down.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Zion Gilbert. He'll try to break around the edge, but a tribe of Chiefs will take him down.
Cue the playing of the recording that I have of us going 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
A loss of 2, or actually a loss of 4. And now it's 2nd and 14. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor takes the snap, fake play action, rolls out, and throws it high. Nice catch coming back to the ball by Nathan Schuessler, and he'll get taken down at the 34-yard line.
And that was just another hitch route that we've seen time and time again from Nathan Schuessler, and he was able to catch it, and another spin to get out of the first defender's tackle, but not before they got into third and manageable.
And they'll actually give him forward progress up to the 33-yard line, so it's 3rd and 4 from the 33. 9.5 left to go in the game. Long look over to the sideline, and the play clock is already down to 2. I don't think they're going to get this off, and they're not going to get it off.
Wow.
I don't know what was going on the sideline. Scott Saylor was looking over to the sideline for the play call for a good 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah. And that was one of those things that we saw from the Oceanside game was that they're going to pick up the flag. Coach Morris got a timeout off before, but they were looking at the play clock in the Oceanside game, especially in that final drive, for 20-plus seconds. It was not conducive for a 2-minute drill. And even though we're not in a 2-minute drill right now, it is not an applicable, you just don't want to get in the habit of 20-second plays in between plays.
Yeah, exactly. So 9:24 left to go in the game. 28-13, Panthers in the lead. And Panthers are trying to extend this lead right here and basically put this out of reach for the Chiefs. It's probably out of reach already with how the Chiefs' offense is.
Right, but you also never want to discount how implosive the Carolina Forest defense can be. And it's held strong today. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
There's no reason to discount what they've done today besides who they're playing. But at the same time, you got to realize that who you are playing is a very weak opponent.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Zion Gilbert. Gilbert is able to break free of a tackle and gets taken down at the 27-yard line. And that will be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And that's just a very strong run by Zion Gilbert. Was able to break through a tackle and fought through the contact and was able to get through for the first down.
It looked like he almost had one of those rip-away jerseys. I thought his jersey was going to tear apart on that tackle attempt. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side.
Play clock down to 7 already.
Again, play clock running down for Carolina Forest. Saylor able to get the snap off, hands it off to Bryson Johnson.
Go ahead.
Bryson Johnson gets a gain of 3, so it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 25-yard line.
That actually looked like Zion Gilbert on the play, and he's limping off the field right now, and the training staff will attend to him right then.
So now 2 running backs out of action. And now Quavius Drawn comes in, the 4th-string running back for Carolina Forest. Kind of surprising. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with Bryson Johnson as well, because we haven't seen much of him at all today.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor keeps himself on the read option and gets tripped up at the 13-yard line, and that'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And just an absolute – that was a great place to run read option. You run the ball twice in a row, wide up the middle, and with Scotty, he got a block out in front of him, and he was just able to take it all the way.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor looking over to the sideline again. 10 seconds left on the play clock, and the play still hasn't come in. Finally does. And now they are set. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Drawn, and he will get taken down after a gain of 2. Make that 3, and he'll get down to the 10-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
And not a bad run there, especially on a 1st and 10. You don't necessarily need a big run. You just need a run to get you ahead in the downs.
Just under 7 minutes left to go in the game. 28-13, 13, Panthers in the lead, trying to extend this lead in the red zone now. Sailor. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Sailor takes the snap, hands it off to Drawn. Drawn breaks through the hole and gets taken down at around the 3-yard line. We'll see if they give him the yards enough to get a first down right at the marker. And they will say he's just short. And it'll be 3rd and inches from the 3-yard line.
Is Keyshawn Drawn making his case for maybe RB2, RB1 on this team right now?
Maybe.
He has found 2 straight explosive runs in the game so far.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Quavius Drawn gets it again, and he'll bounce into the inside and get into the end zone for a touchdown.
So, again, is he making, like, that was
Yeah.
an explode. He didn't go very far, but he was able to find the gap and explode through it for the touchdown, and just a very shifty run right there, and he was able to keep his eyes up and choose the gap that he wanted to run through.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really, garbage time, but it's, getting to a point where, the Chiefs may not be trying as hard, but yes, you may be right.
I mean, both first-team offenses and defense are both still on the field as the kick is up and good for the extra point, bringing the lead to 35-13. And we were talking about that the game might be out of reach already, but I think we are now in official garbage time.
Yes. With 5:51 left to go in the game, 35-13, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
5:51 left to go in the game, with the Panthers pretty much squarely in the driver's seat right now, 35-13. Like you said, I think we're pretty much in garbage time at this point, as the kickoff is fair caught by Chase Sturgeon, and the Chiefs will take possession of the ball at the 32-yard line.
28-3.
Say that again. You didn't have your mic on.
Stratford is winning 28-3 at the end of 3 against St. James. We saw 28-3 come back a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Falcons fans, for bringing it up. But I don't think in one quarter it will happen.
No.
And then I'm trying to find any other games that I can find.
Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. 1-step drop, passes it off on a slant route, and throws it way behind Caden Gore. And incomplete, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
And now we're getting to the point where North Mobile Beach is realizing they kind of have to start throwing the football. Yeah. And I think it's going to be a little too late for that.
A little too late at this point. So 2nd and 10. Shotgun pistol set. 2 wide on the far side. Hall. And a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage. And we'll see, they're going to call encroachment. Renardo Parks was ready to go, and he jumped right into the lap of Sawyer Averett at left tackle, or right tackle, excuse me. Shotgun pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. Hall takes the snap, 2-step drop, looking, stepping up in the pocket, trying to get around a defender, throws it, and it's caught, going down the sideline and into the end zone for a huge touchdown. Caden Gore with the catch on the post route.
Wow.
And it's probably still over, but don't say never.
Don't never say never. And that was a beautiful throw by Hall right there, and was able to find a wide open wide receiver there, just right over the top. It was just a post route, and was able to find him right over the top.
So the extra point will be going up.
No, it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good point. They need the 2. So they're going to go for 2 to try to make this a 2-possession game. Well, it technically is still a 2-possession game already, but
right. Well,
make it more manageable.
Right.
So shotgun set, empty backfield shotgun set. 2 wide on either side. Snap, 1-step drop, looking up the middle, and incomplete. Trying to get it to Landon Cloninger, but a good job by the Panther defense stopping. Oh, they actually got it. Oh, I didn't see any signal.
Right, I didn't. I'm very confused.
It was a very low pass, and Cloninger had to slide down to make the catch, and apparently he did so. So it is now a 14-point game with just over 5 minutes left to go.
So think about this. They're probably going to go onside kick here. So
this,
they have to.
This early, you think?
With down 2 possessions, I think you do, because if you give Carolina Force the ball back, either they
you have 3 timeouts though.
But you don't want to use all 3 of them so soon, or even one of them so soon.
That's true.
I would go for onside kick here, and it looks like they're going to set up for 1-2.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go set up for onside kick here, and to even give yourself a chance to score here.
So we'll see if the Chiefs do go for the onside kick here or not. And looks like they are going to go for the onside kick. And in high school, you can still set up the offense, and it bounces right to Alec Youngblood, and he's able to recover it.
And now it's bleed the clock off.
Yes. Now you want the running game. Now you want to just hand the ball off and drain this clock out. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line of Carolina Forest.
And Bryson Johnson is out on the field for this drive, so maybe give him a little bit of a breather, because I do believe he's playing both sides of the football tonight.
Oh, so you might be right,
so I think they're giving him a little bit of a breather with Quavius Drawn going in.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side as well as the H-back. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson will push the line forward and still on his feet. Still going, no whistle yet. And he's just going to push the line all the way down. That looked more like a rugby scrum than a football play. Pushed it all the way down to the 37-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
That was like a huddle.
Yeah.
That was a huddle just moving forward.
That was like, I mean, if you ever watch rugby, it's just that line that
keeps just on pushing.
Yeah.
And now they're going to take their sweet time.
Yeah, now with 4.5 minutes left to go, they're just going to let the clock run down. It'll be interesting to see when North Myrtle Beach decides to use their timeouts. Handing it off to Johnson again, and he'll get taken down at the 31-yard line for a gain of 6. He's running the ball. I mean, again, it's kind of garbage time at this point, but he's running the ball decently well in these last few minutes too.
Yeah, and I think. I mean, it might be defense getting more and more tired and the offensive line not having to be on the field as much, so I think that has a part to do with it. But outside of that, looking very good on the running game.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hands it off again. Johnson this time gets wrapped up at the 30-yard line for a loss. Oh, no, they're actually going to give him a gain of 1. I didn't think he got back to the line of scrimmage, but I guess the line was pushed up so far that it didn't look like much.
And just a very good game on both sides, I think. Obviously left a little bit to be desired on both sides of the football, but a very kind of well-rounded game so far for Carolina Forest.
3 minutes left to go in the game. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hands it off to Johnson again. Johnson tries to find a hole, and he does. He's going all the way. Touchdown, Panthers. He just broke through the hole and blasted his way into the end zone.
And we talked about parting the Red Sea the entire night, but the offensive line the in between the hash marks there was
wide open. And the linebackers even, I don't know where the North Myrtle Beach linebackers were.
Just absolutely gone on that play, and what a run by Bryson Johnson to blast through that hole.
J.J. Chaddock out to kick the extra point, and he does, and it's now 42-21. Panthers up by 21 with 2:52 left to go in the game.
And I'm trying to find updated scores on the other games in the region. 35-3 Stratford beating St. James after Tim Lloyd's 10-yard rush with 7:44 to go.
Okay.
So there you go. I got one, but that's one I keep seeing.
Well, that one's easy because Ian's over there and he posts a lot.
This doesn't include us, but I mean West Brunswick won. They win 56-49, so that's a thing. Again, St. James getting blown out by Stratford. We kind of saw this coming, if you will. Like, we kind of knew that they weren't as good as they should have been.
But at the same time, we didn't know, like, Stratford wasn't very good either. So I guess this is kind of the indication that St. James is just as bad as they normally are. As a little squib kick is taken by number 10 of North Myrtle Beach. And he gets taken down at the 50-yard line. Chase Sturgeon.
Nice run back. Looks like the ball's on the 49-yard line. Make that the 48-yard line, or it'll be first and 10.
They'll actually mark him down at the 48-yard line. So the Chiefs get great field position to start off this drive, but with 4:22 left to go in the game, probably not enough time to get back into this game. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Hall takes a snap, 3-step drop, looks up the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
And it looked like there was a bit of contact, but it looked like they just kind of ran into each other.
Yeah.
Nothing like on purpose or just very incidental contact for that one.
So now in this fourth quarter, the Panthers have taken over on offense. They've got 21 first downs as compared to 15 in the game.
Yeah, just very, I don't know what the word is for it, but just very inconsistent on the offensive side. Just very, again, we have 42 points, but imagine how many points if we could have if we didn't go a big play, then 2
exactly.
losses.
Although, as they whistle blown delay game on North Myrtle Beach. But even with kind of some of the struggles, Panthers, if they get the ball back again, they will eclipse 200 rushing yards more than likely. They're currently at 197.
Jeez.
On passing yards, Scott has thrown 236 passing yards.
Wow. Just... that's a clinic on for a quarterback in high school.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. 5-step drop, little dump off, trying to get it out to Alan McCormick. Not sure if he was trying to go for McCormick or Daquan Durham. They were both in the area, but either way, it falls incomplete. And it is now 3rd and 15.
I think that the pass rush has looked good when they've been forcing North Myrtle Beach into passing downs. I think that's what been the one bright spot of this Carolina Forest defense so far.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Hall, high snap, rolls out to his right, looking, getting pressure, is able to dump it off, and it's almost intercepted by Jamari Davis. And that will bring up 4th down.
Just not. Defense is getting pressure, but you also have to know in scramble drill situations like that, you have to know where the nearest guy is.
Yeah.
That's just your assignment is the nearest guy to you. But good to make sure that they didn't get the catch there and didn't allow them to get 4th and manageable here as 4th and here too.
And they're going to have to go for it now with clock running out. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the other side. 5-step drop, throwing up the middle and just out of the reach of Landon Cloninger. And that will be a turnover on downs. And the Panthers now can eclipse 200 rushing yards and finish this game off with 2:20 left to go in the game.
And 200 yards would be more than what Khalil Johnson had all year as the running back one. And it would be interesting to see how many of those yards come from Scotty's legs instead of someone else's.
Let's see here.
Let's find out.
Scott has 73 net yards. Bryson Johnson has 54 net yards, but that's mostly off of that one big run because that run was 31 yards.
Right.
So over half of his production.
As Carolina Forest will take a timeout. Don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Zion Gilbert has 51 yards, and then Nathan Schutzler has 9.
Make sure you support Costa Bowls of Carolina Forest like they support Panther Athletics.
So we'll see. I don't get why the Panthers decided to take a timeout, but
Mark Morris is just using the timeouts that he should have used in the Oceanside game within 3 minutes. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. 2:20 left to go in the game. 42-21. Panthers to a huge lead.
Only a person as pessimistic as I am would still rag on that. Three weeks later during a win. But you also have to realize in those big situations, if he's not making the right play calls then he's not going to make them in the future when we have a big situation.
Exactly. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side, as well as the H-back. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off. Zion Gilbert will get stood up, still up on his feet, finally gets taken down at the 45-yard line. Actually, that was Quavius Drawn coming in again. And it'll be 2nd and 8. 2 minutes left to go in the game.
So 40 seconds of play. If they get a first down here, they can take knees and would close this game out.
And it doesn't look like North Myrtle Beach is calling their timeouts anyway. Shotgun set, 2 wide plus the H-back on the near side. Snap. Actually throwing it this time. Screen pass and still on his feet. Going down the sideline and going into the end zone is number 27, DeMarcus Kraft.
Oh my goodness. What was and that might be the first time we've said that name this season. On his first touch of the season, a screen pass goes to the end zone. What a play. And you can tell the sideline is hyped for that touchdown. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of the win-loss, but that is a great moment for him.
But getting a third-string wide receiver out on the field to just have a play like that. And the extra point is up and good, and that'll extend the lead out to 49-21.
49-21. How about that Panther offense, folks?
So a minute and a half left to go in the game.
Talk about Kraft. That was some minute offense right there. That was some quick minute offense with the Kraft right there. I was waiting for you to get it. I was going to keep repeating it until you got it.
I get it now.
But what a great play right there. Like, it doesn't mean anything for the score, for the win-loss.
Yeah.
But to get a third-string wide receiver, his first touch, a touchdown.
And he's a senior, so
And he's a
giving
senior.
him that moment, especially on homecoming, no less. So J.J. Chaddock.
16 minutes ago, Conway takes the lead on a scoop and score fumble. 2-point conversion is good. Conway winning 15-8.
Okay, well,
It doesn't give a quarter though, so
That's number 10.
probably fourth, I would think,
I
at
would
this
assume the
point.
fourth,
Yeah.
Stinson on the reception and return.
end of the third quarter was 25 minutes ago, and then the
yeah,
update was
okay,
16
so,
minutes ago.
yeah, so it's the fourth quarter. So that little squib kick gets taken by Chase Sturgeon and steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So that's where North Myrtle Beach will take over on offense and probably just run this clock out and let them travel the half hour back to Little River.
Yeah, I've had to make that trek a few times for work because I work out in Barefoot Landing,
Yeah.
and that is not a fun trek back.
I'm headed that way myself. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side, trying to throw it to the near side to Caden Gore, but incomplete.
And now a flag after the play, and there's no reason for this. This is just excitement, and this is second string defense now, and a lot of these people are getting in, and this is just excitement right now.
And it looks like it was, it's going to be offsetting. Minute 21 left to go in the game.
Run the ball. Run the ball. You did it the entire game.28 Run the ball.
Now they're not going to run.
Now
They're going to pass it. Still trying to come back from a 28-point deficit. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. High snap, hands it off, and stuffed in the backfield. The whistle is finally blown as number 63, another third-string guy, Jacob Halling, coming into the game and stepping up big, making that tackle on Evans Bellamy.
And you see the bench. They know who the third stringers are.
Yeah.
They know who doesn't get in the game much.
And he's another senior.
And you see the camaraderie between the entire team celebrating this guy who just got a tackle in a game when he doesn't get in, and he's a senior too.
Pistol set, and a whistle is blown. It's going to be a false. Oh, no, it's going to be an offsides on the defense.
Flag on the play.
And that will push North Myrtle Beach up
Ball goes
to
against
the 44-yard line.
Take a knee. Take a knee.
You know that's not going to happen.
I know.
35.7 seconds left to go in the game.
Third down.
I had the under on the QB's rushing yards today. Need a knee.
Pistol set, 3 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off to Bellamy. He gets a little bit. Oh, actually, excuse me. I take that back. That is number 6, Drew Prince.
Tackled by number 12, Ethan Hamilton.
Ethan Hamilton will make the tackle. That'll be enough for a first down, and that will stop the
Stop the
clock
clock.
for the first down. The longest minute in the world.
42-yard line.
That's what they call me.
First and 10.
Oh, we are loopy here at
Yeah.
Forest Football Network.
First and 10, ball on the 42-yard line. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. High snap, play action, passing it up the middle is incomplete.
Ball's incomplete.
So more time to stop the clock. 12.4 seconds left to go in
What
the
are
game.
you doing this weekend, Brandon? What are you doing?
I was hoping to watch some college and NFL football, but we may still be here.
And if you're heading
10
down the street,
hours
look around.
later.
Bottles and pieces of paper and cans that are sitting next to you. Wave to the trash can for us. We would appreciate it.
Second and 10, shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap, 5-step drop, looking, still in the pocket,
Oh my
throws
God.
it near side and almost caught.
In and out of the hands
Oh
of
my
number 6,
God!
Drew
It stops the clock again. We are here at the Carolina Forest Football Network with
Third and 10.
loopy dreams and wanting a bed
and wanting food.
We're just all over the place here. Great win, though, tonight from Carolina Forest. This is what we expected the Stratford game to be.
Yeah.
This is what we thought we had going into the Stratford game, and now we see it in the North Myrtle Beach game.
And now the big question is, can this momentum, shotgun set 3 wide on the far side, they'll hand it off, still on his feet, still going, and they could, just take it down right at the 15-yard line, and that will finally end the ball game. Final score, 49-21. Panthers win it, and now the question is, moving forward into next week, does this big win give them the momentum that we were worried about and the confidence that we were worried about after the 3-game road stretch? Does this give them the confidence going into into region play to have a good region schedule?
I think it does. It gives them a little bit of confidence going into the next week, or into 2 weeks from now when they play Conway. And overall, this is a great win, and you have to take what you can. And again, we said this last week: a win is a win, especially going into region play when all the wins matter. Yeah. And I think that'll be the true test of where we're at in the region, is obviously region play.
Exactly. So we'll have to wait to see. Next week is a bye week, so no game next week. But the week after next, Conway here at Panther Stadium. So that'll be a good one. Panthers would love to get a win to start off region play. But once again, final score 49-21. Panthers win this one to end non-region play on a high note and try to get some momentum into region play in 2 weeks. For Preston Payne, I'm Brandon Biskobing saying so long, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple of weeks. Once again, final score 49-21, Panthers win.